everybody, it's Innovision, and the rumor mill is swirling again. Allegedly, the Legion Go 2's launch date has been leaked. Also, I finally broke down and got an action figure from the MONDO line of figures. This is one of the two that I'm getting to add to our collection. In this video, not only will we share the leaked Legion Go 2 launch date, we're going to unload all the details we know so far about this new console. We're even going to share our speculation on the cost of this device. Hint, it's going to cost a pretty penny. We are going to unbox and review this amazing MONDO action figure, a guilty indulgence I paid entirely way too much for. I'm hyped beyond hype to unbox it and put it on display. Don't even think about moving a muscle. You don't want to miss any of it. Let's go! As we get started, I have a couple of community announcements. First and foremost, I know we have quite a few friends who have joined us since the SteamOS stable release. We're all interested in getting our SteamOS and Windows 11 dual boot up and running. I have well over 3 hours of video footage that needs editing for this topic. I'm trying to distill it down into highlights that are easy to digest and easy to follow, all while ensuring we leave no important steps out. I'm working on the final edits and finishing touches. I'm hoping to have it out next weekend, but in the worst case scenario, it would just be the following one. I would like to thank everyone for your continued patience and support. Now let's talk about the NECA TMNT Bodacious Beach Bros action figure set that went up for pre-order this week. These are a San Diego Comic-Con convention exclusive. Copping these figures as a pre-order is likely your best chance to get them if you're not attending the convention this year. Friday was the last day to pre-order. I pre-ordered mine as soon as they went up on the first day, which was Wednesday this week. And shortly after I pre-ordered mine, NECA sent out an email with a discount code. Although I missed my chance to apply the discount code, they actually sent me another email. It was like an automated email saying that they applied the discount to my account. And so I ended up getting the $40 off. And so I'm totally pumped and hyped about these figures. And it was a decent price. I know NECA's had a bad rap in the past, at least with some folks, but it seems like maybe they're trying to turn over a new leaf. I personally haven't had any issues with them, and when I've had issues with my orders, I'm usually able to resolve them pretty easily. I'm not a NECA affiliate. I'm not getting free products or anything like that. Truly, I enjoy their products. I think they're high quality and they're reasonably priced compared to some other collectibles out there. I noticed folks on Reddit shaming the Bodacious Beach Bros. It's like, come on, dude. They're like, oh, this one was so easy to get compared to previous convention exclusives. And yeah, I have to admit, I've seen it almost any time that I've logged in and looked at it. But there's a caveat to that. These are tough times for U.S. collectors right now, especially due to the tariffs. And so right now, folks are really, especially in the U.S., spending their money wisely. I noticed earlier when the Bodacious Bros went up, there was a limit of 2 per household. And then on later days, it became 3 per household. And I don't think that it's one of these things that they made it easier to get just for the sake of it. I just think they can't anticipate consumer behavior and people are just not spending money on things they usually would be spending on. I mean, cost of living is going up. Things are kind of tough right now. So on one hand, you're going to get mad because they sell out. And on the other hand, now you're upset because they didn't sell out and it was easier to get. Make up your mind. I'm just sitting here shaking my head. You're going to get mad now that it's easier to find and they give you a discount code? Come on. This is actually one of the most consumer-friendly plays I've seen from a toy or collectible company, especially in light of all the stuff that's going on around with the tariffs right now. Hold up now. Without any additional information, you don't necessarily know what's going on here. Anything that you come up with or say is just speculation at this point. And it's unfortunate we're in this time period now where people treat their opinion as some kind of equivalent to somebody's knowledge. And this is just not, it's not facts, you know? So just be happy that you got a discount code. Enjoy the action figures. But what would I know? I'm just a guy who loves TMNT, who spent my hard-earned money on these action figures. And it's because I enjoy sharing them with my family, friends, and our subscribers. Last but not least, for our community updates, we've been getting a lot of questions from folks about how to enable custom fan curves under SteamOS on your Legion Go. It's totally possible to enable custom fan curves. There's a plugin that I shared a few weeks back called the Legion Go Remapper. In the plugin, there's an experimental section that lets you enable custom fan curves. It does require some custom drivers and the Linux kernel headers to be installed. So I've been tinkering with it a little bit. And in a few weeks, I'll be posting a video. Once we get through our dual boot guide, I'll be posting a video on how to enable custom fan curves. Now, my overarching guidance here is if you're not having any heating issues or thermal throttling issues with your Legion Go, I wouldn't necessarily do this. Otherwise, I would just wait for Valve to release the update that enables it by default. Only if you're having problems would I consider this, but I'm going to provide you guys with the details. Alright, it's go time! The Legion Go 2 allegedly is launching in September of this year. This comes from a leaked communication between Lenovo of Latin America and a retailer. In this message, Lenovo is suggesting that the Legion Go 2 will be on store shelves in Latin America come this September. And typically when Lenovo launches their product in one region, they hit all regions simultaneously. Earlier this year, we saw a prototype of the Legion Go 2 at the Consumer Electronics Show. That was in January of this year, and it's a real beauty. The Legion Go 2 is by far the handheld I am most hyped about. As we go over the confirmed specs so far, I want everyone to keep in mind these are specs based on the prototype we saw. This was before any of this business about tariffs in the US and all that nonsense. So these are not specs about the final product and what's launching. I don't expect it to change a whole lot, but just keep that in mind. These things can change up until it's released. I would like to give credit to videocards.com. They're the source of the images that we're using here today for this discussion, but I'm using these images to help illustrate my thoughts and ideas on this upcoming product. I'll provide links in the description of the video. Here we've got a table of all the Legion Go branded handhelds, including the Legion Go 2. This includes price and the various specs of these handhelds. The one thing I want to call out here, kind of in my mind, the crown jewel of the Legion Go devices is their screen. The prototype of the Legion Go 2 has an OLED display. It has a 74 watt-hour battery, and it comes with 2 terabytes of NVMe SSD along with the 32 gigs of RAM. Now it's quite an upgrade, especially with the 74 watt-hour battery along with the OLED display will lead to some pretty nice battery life. And the model that was out at the Consumer Electronics Show had Windows 11 on it. But I'm already seeing reports of people being able to install SteamOS on the Ryzen HX, AI-based CPUs and APUs. And from a hardware perspective, the AI 370 HX is quite comparable to the Z2 Extreme that's going to ship in the Legion Go 2. The main difference is that the Z2 Extreme will have a few less cores, but it has the same GPU. And that trading those extra cores means that they can likely take the cores that they have to a slightly higher clock rate to get slightly better performance in certain scenarios. The real takeaway there is that's going to lead to better battery life at a lower TDP. And so I think that's why they traded in the extra cores. But the most important thing for our application here as gamers is the performance of the iGPU. And we've already seen that you can boot SteamOS on these new APUs that have the new IG. And so I wouldn't be surprised if it works right out of the box, but even if it doesn't, it's just going to require a few patches from Valve and it should be working in no time. I'm excited about this device. I dream about it. Me personally, I'm like a visual fidelity fanatic. In fact, I used to rate performance of different encoding algorithms like for video, so it's just changed the way I perceive and interact with displays and screens and things of that nature. But yeah, it's still going to have the detachable controllers. It's still going to have the kickstand. What I like also is the controllers have a more rounded edge, so they look a little less chiseled than the OG Legion Go controllers. It doesn't bother me too much, but the OG Legion Go does have some kind of coil whine if you have one of the first models like the one I have. But all this is super exciting. I can't wait for it. And now we know that it's likely going to be available in September. That coincides with when the Xbox branded Ally X handheld's coming out. There are rumors now that handheld is going to be available for pre-order as early as August of this year. So it's like right on the heels of when the Xbox handheld goes up for pre-order. All I can say is this holiday season is going to be lit. Now you don't need sight beyond sight to know what's in this package. Thundercats. Look at this. So this is the MONDO Lion-O 1/6 scale. This was the pre-order exclusive version or whatever you want to call it that has the snarf with it. So they made 2 models of it. I paid entirely way too much for this because I missed it. The pre-orders or the availability generally was August of 2024. I didn't even know about MONDO or these action figures at the time, but I came out with a pretty sweet deal by making some trades with folks at a convention I went to. I'm very happy with the trade, and I'm happy to have this guy. We're going to put him back there with our 1/4 scale Ninja Turtles. And that's going to require a little customization of a little shelf that I'm going to put together for him. But before we dig into him, let's take a look at the artwork on the box. Lion-O, the son of Claudius, the heir to the throne. Lion-O is a champion combatant, an agile fighter who overpowers opponents in battle. Once belonging to the mighty warrior Jaga, his Sword of Omens summons the other Thundercats and grants him sight beyond sight with the powerful Eye of Thundera. But an ancient evil is awakening. Can Lion-O save his new home, Third Earth, from Mum-Ra, the Ever-Living, and his demonic army of mutants? And this box is grand. And the thing that's really cool about this Lion-O, the art style of the Lion-O is similar to the art style of how Lion-O looks in the comics. So he's kind of got a darker color palette versus the lighter color palette that we saw in the cartoon series. But the thing that's really neat about this action figure, once we unbox it, it'll become very obvious. It's got kind of like a hair texture. Like, it's not hairy feeling, but the texture of the plastic gives it a hairy look, like a cat would look like. And it's just freaking awesome. And this is the one that comes with Snarf. They're going for ridiculous prices on eBay. I'm so glad I was able to snag this one. It was a true deal. This Lion-O is definitely on the same order of magnitude and similar scale to the giant Ninja Turtles we got back there. So one thing I want to just call out here, the box texture itself doesn't feel like an ordinary cardboard box. It's got a plastic kind of coating over it, probably to keep everything nice looking. It also seems like it's a box that's meant for you once you receive the figure. You can pose him back in there once you take some of the packaging materials back out. Let's open it! Uh-oh. So we got a cape back here. Wow. Now this is a cape fit for a king. That's very nice. So it looks like it's got these two kind of shoulder pads that'll go over his shoulders. Alright, so let's just do this one box at a time because there's a lot to unpack here. Oh, wow. Look at the detail in the paint. You can see his teeth. You can actually see the separation in the teeth. That's incredible. Here's his claw shield. Look at that. He's wearing a crown. That's definitely Lord of the Thundercats. Okay, so that's once he's got the power from the Eye of Thundera. It's like he's metamorphosizing. Dude, look at this guy. He's a beast. He comes with a weapon similar to one of Panthro's weapons. Style nunchucks. He's got the Sword of Omens that goes in the claw shield. Yet another head. Wow. The digits move on the claw shield. That is sick. So that's the one where it's like on his side. And then this is after he's wearing it. His hand evolves into it. I say knowledge is heavy. Oh, look at Snarf. So Snarf is my kid's favorite. They really got him bagged up. They didn't want him getting no air. Wow, that is so nice. I love the detail. And it's, you know, it's definitely in this more realistic likeness. You know, it doesn't look like a cartoon character. It looks like if this character was existing in the real world, what they would look like. He's got some points of articulation. It was a little bit hard to move there at first. This is incredible. And we've got all these extra hands for Lion-O. They left no stone unturned here in terms of accessories. So it looks like it comes with a stand for Lion-O. Wow. That's a very detailed sword. And then this one is just sick. So this is the one where Lion-O's holding it when he does his Thundercats incantation. It looks like we got another Sword of Omens. Oh, I see. So in between his incantation, you know, the sword will extend. And so that's the fully extended one here. And then this is the one where it looks more decorated before it goes into battle mode. It's so well done. Incredible. I like to build my own stand. Alrighty then. He ain't going nowhere. This is a totally gnarly action figure. It is an awesome embodiment of the Lord of the Thundercats. Am I excited we have it? I'm stoked beyond stoked. Now, to give my honest review here, I don't think it's a great value for most people. For me, specifically, I love Thundercats, and there's not many options out there in terms of Thundercats stuff. And so it really is an all-inclusive action figure. You've got so many accessories here. But they could keep the cost down by including less accessories, but then it wouldn't be an all-inclusive action figure. And they almost have to do that because there's not really many companies making Thundercats swag and stuff like that. So I'm happy I have this. I couldn't let it go. Once I saw it at the convention for the deal that I made, there's no turning back. I'm I'm so happy to have this. I'm going to build some custom shelving to be able to put it back there with our turtles. Even though it comes with this stand, I don't trust the stand that it comes with. I have cats and kids running around. I need things to be robust, reliable, and dependable. But this is an amazing action figure, and it's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You know, we've got Snarf here with this one. They still have the non-Snarf version, the one that comes with less accessories, on Mondo's website right now, but I really wanted the one that came with Snarf. This was like a dream come true. What a time to be alive! We've got amazing action figures like the Mondo line of the Thundercats. So later this year, there's a Mum-Ra that's going to be coming out. Mum-Ra the Ever-Living, with an eye-watering price tag. We might end up with it in our collection. I don't know. You'll have to wait and see. I can't wait for the Legion Go 2. Once they confirm all the specs, you know I'm going to make some noise here. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us here today. This was a lot of fun. This is the most fun I've had in a while working on a video. You know, I felt like lately I've been spending a lot of time working on very technical things, so it's really refreshing to work on some of these more creative things, and so I really enjoyed working on this video today. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, so you don't miss all the amazing collectibles, gaming, tips, tricks, and mods we've got coming down the pipeline.